In Deuteronomy, it says that if you get divorced and then remarry, then you're guilty of adultery just by getting remarried. And on the surface, that makes absolutely no sense, because if divorce really does end a marriage, what does it matter if you get remarried? Why is it adultery just to get remarried? And when you start to think about it and you understand biblical culture, it makes sense, because in that culture, divorce did not end a marriage. The marriage continued even after the divorce. What the divorce did was it severed the ties. It basically voided the terms of the marriage contract that every marriage had in that culture at that time. And it made it so that neither the husband nor the wife could be held legally liable for violating the terms of that marriage contract. But the actual marriage itself remained intact. Those spiritual ties of a marriage remained intact. So when it says that if you get divorced and you remarry, you're guilty of adultery just by getting remarried, it's saying that you're still married to this first person that you got married to. The divorce just makes it so that you can't be held legally liable for not living up to your end of that contract. But you're still married to them. Those spiritual ties are still there. And they're going to be there probably until the day you die, or in the case of adultery, I don't know, biblically things get messy when adultery is in place, because in that culture, sex was the only thing needed to create a marriage. So by going out and committing adultery, you are forming these new marriage bonds with other people, and you're doing it illegally. So your spouse has the right to complain because of what you're doing. So it's a completely different culture with a completely different way of thinking, and we think we understand everything about it, but the more that I study it, the more it seems obvious that most people know absolutely nothing about the Bible or biblical culture or what the Bible actually says or wants from us. So we really need to be mindful of these things, and we need to stop thinking we know everything about the Bible, and we need to look at the Bible from its own perspective instead of looking at it from our perspective.